we've always, as humans, have told stories. It's kind of how we get our sort of instructions for life. Like the most basic form of storytelling is sitting around a campfire, somebody told a story, and that sort of to all the children who are also sitting around, and that informs them, what to be afraid of, what your values are, and how to operate in the world. So, and film is kind of just doing that on a mass scale. The Kuleshov effect was this before D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation. The Russians were doing all sorts of like experiments, which was like sort of the basis for modern film editing, which they would take 3 images or 4. Usually it was a baby, it was a man, and a bowl of soup. And they would put these images in different sequences, and they would ask people, what they thought. And what they found out was that people would just invent their own stories of like what happened. Like if you showed, say, the baby, the man, and the bowl of soup, it was like, oh, that man is ignoring the baby, and he's really hungry at that because he's looking at that bowl of soup. So if you take that and extrapolate it through years and years and years, what film can do is basically sort of like pass down values through generations. Because we look at a film, we kind of, through editing, sort of fill in all the gaps that we don't see and sort of create our own story, empathize with this character that we're being shown because we're being shown an image in a certain way or a character in a certain way, and we don't empathize with another character in a certain way. So what film can do is create a sense of joy or fear, and then people, because we've been doing this for centuries, pass that down because you saw this movie and it had a great effect on you, so you show it to your child, and you sort of take the lessons you learned from that and you pass it down and you pass it down. So that is kind of the power of filmmaking and just storytelling in itself, which is why it's so important to have good representation in the stories that we're seeing and creating.